to LDRS Creative, and thank you so much for joining me today as we celebrate this adorable collaborative stamp set. As you can see, there are 12 different Thinking of You stamps in this set, and they're brought to you by 12 of your favorite stamp companies. We've all come together to produce this stamp set for charity. The proceeds from the sale of each of these stamp sets will be donated to the Dreaming Zebra Foundation, which is an amazing organization that believes in the value of art education for all children so they can express themselves creatively and explore their individuality. I just love this set, and it's super fun to work with. This is the card that I made with the stamp set. My idea was to kind of create a neighborhood so that we kind of had a universal theme. This is the stamp that we contributed to the stamp set, and it says, "In my galaxy, you are a superstar." I think it's absolutely adorable, and I think it is perfectly fitting for this scene, and I'm going to show you exactly how I made it. The first step is to stamp the sentiment. So I've already got it lined up, and I'm going to use my Raven Hybrid ink to stamp this sentiment. I'm going to set that aside for now. Let's take a look at the card while I show you the different pieces that I created to put this together. I grabbed a few more of our die sets. My idea behind this card was that I didn't want there to be a whole lot of coloring. I wanted it to be really easy to build and to build the scene with dies. So I used the Little Pink Houses border die, the Up a Tree die set, and then In a Cloudy Sky. The Little Pink Houses die set, when you run it through your die cutting machine, is going to produce this particular die cut. Now, I chose to do this in green so that I would have that beautiful grassy border, but I want the houses to be in a variety of colors, as you can see in my sample here. And so I ran the die through a few more times, and I did it in a few different colors. So I chose red, yellow, and blue, almost like a rainbow. And then I just snipped with my scissors the houses off of that border edge so that I would have them in different colors. Now I do want to show you something really special about the die set, because here I have all the doors and the windows are all cut out. But as you can see, on the colored ones, I left the doors and the windows intact. So we have some that are going to open and close. So don't be surprised when you see that. The next step is going to be to cover the back of each of these with a little bit of color. As you can see in my sample, I colored the back with a little bit of a blue cardstock. So all I've done is hand cut a little piece of blue cardstock, and I'm going to adhere that to the back of each so that you no longer see through the door. Now that they're all done, it's time to go ahead and adhere them to the front of the die cut. I do want to point out, when I was creating each of these, that I numbered all of the pieces that go on the back of each of the little houses, And I also numbered the back of the houses with coordinating numbers. Before I adhered the blue to the back, I also made sure that I had opened all of the little windows and doors that have the ability to open. So now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere each of these over the top of the green border. Now that that is complete, we're going to set that aside to dry. The next step is to create the tree border that you see in the background. I used the Up a Tree die set. This has 8 dies all together, and I used the border piece to cut the green, and then I also used it to create the brown. And then I used all of these individual pieces here to cut all of these little tree toppers in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some of these out because we're going to need these. I like to cut a bunch of those and then store them with my dies so that they're all ready to go when I need them. So we want to have the green, the dark green grass, but I don't want to have the green be the actual tree trunks and the branches. So I'm going to cut away from the brown. So I'm going to cut all these little brown pieces here right off of the border, and I'm going to line them up as I cut them so that I know exactly which branch or which tree they're going to go over. And now I'm going to apply each of the brown tree toppers over the top of the green. Now we're going to start assembling the card topper. I'm going to start with the grassy green border. I've already got the adhesive on it, and I'm going to adhere this to the very bottom of the front of the card. The next piece will be the neighborhood border, and I've already got the foam on it. We're just going to add that right over top of the grassy green border right at the bottom. The next step is to add the leaves at the top of each of the trees. I've already got them cut. I cut them in a light green and a dark green so that we had variety to choose from, and I think it adds a lot of interest to the front of the card that way. So let's go ahead and add one to each of the trees. Next, we're going to go ahead and add the clouds. I've already die cut them from the In a Cloudy Sky die set. I'm going to cut off a little bit of the side of each of them so that they fit a little better on the card. This way I can put it right at the edge of the card base. And then you'll notice I have foam on the back of each of them so that we lift it up a little bit just to give a little bit of dimension and a little more interest to the card. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of color to our stamped image. They're stars, so I've chosen to work with a little bit of yellow, and I'm just going to add a little touch of color here and there on the stars. So when I finished the card, I really felt like it was missing some characters. So I grabbed our Today's Hero stamp set. This is a brand new 13 stamp set. It's absolutely perfect for this. It has some of our heroes of today, like teachers and doctors and nurses. And this set is actually free with your purchase on the LDRS Creative website while supplies last. But we do have a good deal of them, so or a good number of them, so you should be good with your next order at least. So anyway, I colored up a delivery person, so somebody's delivering groceries or maybe a meal. And we've got a nurse in the center, and we have a doctor. And I think they're just absolutely cute. They're a really quick color. And so it didn't take a lot of time to get them all ready for this card. And I think that they just fit perfectly with the Thinking of You theme and with the superstar stamp that I chose to work with on this card. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had an absolute wonderful time showing you how I made this card today. Don't forget we have a $50 gift card giveaway that is going to be good for the LDRS Creative website. And all you have to do to enter the giveaway is leave a comment down below in the comment section by May 24th. We will announce the winners on our inspiration blog on May 29th. There's also a list of links there for the other companies that are participating in this video hop. You want to make sure and check out every single one of those videos. Check out their projects. They've got some amazing projects there as well. And everybody also has a giveaway going on, so you can enter all of those giveaways. We're going to be announcing the full list of all 12 of the winners on May 29th. That'll be on the Stamping Village Facebook page. So anyway, until then, again, thank you so much for joining me. I had a wonderful time. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope you will make sure and get a hold of your Thinking of You stamp set, and that way you can also participate in contributing to our charitable cause. Thank you so much.